Good morning, everyone. This is Kosala. Welcome back to the Work Karma blog. What are we chit-chatting about today? I will tell you. Bullying and harassment. Do we like bullying and harassment? No, we do not. But unfortunately, there's a lot of that going around in the world, especially in the UK. I've noticed in the 2.5 years I've been here, there's a great deal of bullying and harassment, aggression that goes on in the workplace that's masked under the rather poorly veiled heading of tough love or company culture. This is obviously nonsense. Bullying and harassment is illegal in the UK. It is illegal in most parts of the first world, in any kind of workplace situation. However, as an employee in a company, you've got a couple of weird conundrums that occur because you may be in a company that you actually want to be in, working at a job you actually want to work at, only made bad for you by this one individual on the horizon that is trying to mess up your world. So I'm going to go from a few personal experiences here and give you a couple of insights into how I dealt with it, and how one might deal with it. The bully only looks good in comparison to something else. This is a very important thing. Bullying is based out of fear. There is some fear that permeates the individual's mind, a fear of something that might happen, that has happened, that will happen. And in a reaction to that fear comes the aggressive bullying as an attempt to seize control, believing that under his control things may be better. This is almost never the case. Almost never the case. But because the bully is attempting to mask an inadequacy by making himself look superior by putting you down, the only way that works is if you accept being down. Communication between two people tends to go through a variety of different roles. We can call it the parent role, the child role, the adult role. In any given situation that you might have in your adult life or in your working life, you will go through these three different roles. For example, I'm adopting a parent role right now where I'm explaining an activity and explaining a wisdom that I may have acquired. You who are listening are in the child role where you're absorbing that wisdom by choice. However, there's different kinds of the parent role. There's the nurturing parent role, which is the one where I'm doing right now. Then there is, in your mind, there is the inquisitive child role, where you're trying to absorb knowledge that comes from someone else. There is also the parent role that is subjugating, that tries to put you down, that scolds you. This is the nature of the bully. He adopts the parent role that is the besserwisser, knowing something that you don't know, or attempting to show others that he knows something that you don't know. And in reaction to that, you will, as a normal human being, react as a child, in the same way that if you were scolded by a parent, you'd react defensively, you'd react as an obstinate child, you might throw a tantrum, you might get angry. And these are all natural reactions. It's essential that you don't do that, because the bully only looks superior in comparison to you. Incredibly important point. The bully only looks superior in comparison to you. Third party over there watching, the bully is adopting the aggressive scolding parenting role only if you cower in the child role or throw up a tantrum in a tantrum tempestuous child role. Does the bully then look good? Because the guy looking from the side sees the bully as the parent role that you recognize in your mind as superior, and you as the child role that he recognizes in his mind as inferior. If you never adopt the child role, but stay at the adult role, things start becoming vastly more difficult to the bully. If the bully attempts to question you or sow doubt in your activities, you can respond as an adult does. On the one hand, accepting his point of view, but on the other hand, showing how your actions and tasks are actually not in doubt at all, providing evidence and data to fuel the fact that you are indeed right. He will adopt the manner of putting a question in your mind and phrasing it in such a manner as if to question whether or not you are right in what you do. Respond back in the adult role. Don't sink to the child role. Respond back in the adult role as you would with any other adult. Present your case, do your job, follow your job role. We'll talk about job roles in another video, but it's very, very essential that you understand the concept of responding to the bully. It is only if you sink into the child role that the bully wins. If you do not, he never wins. Never get angry. Never get aggressive. always adopt the superior mannerisms of calmness, and put forward the data that always makes sure that your activity is well researched, well carried out, and according to what your role in the company is. And the bully will never ever win. Right? A company bully can only win by making you look like you are not doing your job, by making your work look inferior than it actually is, and by making you look less skilled or less qualified than you actually are. All of these three things only work if you let him do it. He will be adopting the scolding parent role. You must not adopt the cowering child or the angry child role. Adopt the middle adult path and maintain your cool, and the bully can never ever win. And the more he tries to fight against your adult role, the more idiotic he will look. This is the essential components. How you actually execute this on a case-by-case basis, it's hard to say. It depends on the situation and it depends on the person. We will have future videos where we will talk about the legal responses to bullying and harassment, and how you go about doing those things. But for the initially, in your efforts to retain a welcoming environment in your job and learning to work with these kind of aggressive personalities, keep in mind the three roles: the parent role, the adult role, the child role. And there are different variations of these roles, some wholesome, some not. If you're interested in carrying out a more psychological analysis of this, Google transactional analysis as a psychological subject, as a conversational mean, and you will find there's plenty of knowledge base surrounding the idea. As always with these things, practice makes perfect. It's only when you're out there exercising it that you will get better and better at it. Unfortunately, bullying is a fairly commonplace activity in one form or the other in workplaces, and you should not let a stupid person drive you away from a company you want to be in or a job you love to do. So learn to master that particular communication game. Right? Adopt the adult role. Never waver from it. It requires practice, requires a certain amount of coolness, right? But it is doable for everyone. If you've had similar experiences to this, or have insights and methods that you yourself have used, remember to post below, comment below, get the discussion going. I'll be very interested in hearing all about it, because I've noticed that this is quite a kind of a widespread problem in pretty much every company I've been at. And I've tried to help people through it in various different ways, and educating in this particular transactional analysis concept is one of them, in much the same way that somebody educated me in it, and that's why I know it. So give it a try. I've definitely exercised this myself. It does work extremely well, and it's simply a case of handing the person enough rope and he will busily hang himself, because that's what bullies do. That's what all people driven by fears do. And we'll talk about fears in a different chapter of this video blog as well. But for now, I'm going to call it that. And before I leave off, remember once again, as I said in my introductory video, I'm not a therapist, not a guru. This is not an advice channel. I'm not telling you what to do. In fact, always think for yourself and adopt any knowledge that you hear to your own circumstances, as you would in any other situation in life. This is, however, a video blog, and it is a commentary and therefore a conversational channel. So feel free to activate yourself and comment below and subscribe and do all the other things you good YouTubers do. And until next time, have a lovely Monday. Ta-ta.